Two of Judaism's most well-known texts are found in this week's Parsha, Ve'etchanan. The first is Aseret HaDibrot, known in English as the Ten Commandments. Those verses remain at the core of our understanding of who we are as Jews, as they have for millennia. The second is the first section of the Shema, beginning with the words, "Hear, O Israel, the Lord is our God, the Lord alone," or "the Lord is one." The very next verse in sequence commands us to love the Lord your God with all your heart, with all your soul, and with all your might. Love, it seems, is at the core of our relationship to God, and we are to strive to show that love with all the effort we can muster. But what do we mean by the word love, especially when it's directed to God as its object? When we speak of human love, a number of things come to mind. Physical intimacy, affection, feelings of concern for the other person, and so forth. But few of those things apply easily to God. We have no physical contact with God. We cannot actually embrace or kiss God. And it's not easy to understand why would we be concerned for God's well-being in the way that we would for a person that we would love. What then is the real substance of our God love? It may help us to get closer to understanding the command to love God if we know a little Hebrew and know how the Torah understands the word for love, ahava. When applied to God, or the gods in pagan cultures of that time, the aspect of ahava, of love, that is meant is loyalty. Now that is certainly part of love for another person. We do things for the ones we love in part because of our connection to them, not because we rationally analyze everything that they do. Our loyalty to those we love means that we will take their part in a way that we would not do for strangers. That is what ahava meant for our relationship with God, both biblically and in our time as well. We are able to devote ourselves to God out of loyalty, just as God took us out of Egypt, not because of any special merit on our part, but rather out of loyalty to the memory of Abraham and Sarah. We too show loyalty to God. We do not do so because we always understand what God demands of us, not because following the mitzvot is easy or convenient, but rather because our relationship with God is primary to us. Out of love, loyalty, ahava, we observe Jewish time, eat according to distinctive rules, and continue to deepen our relationship with God through prayer and through study. Understanding love for God as loyalty clears up the distinction between love for people and love for God, but it doesn't obliterate the other meanings that love has for us. In addition to feeling loyal to God, we can also feel happiness and a sense of special relation and spiritual intimacy, just as we do with other people. And just as love between people is mutual, the love between us and God is as well. By loving God with heart, soul, and might, we affirm that God is as real to us as any human lover, that we are committed to an ongoing relationship with God, and that there is something at stake in that relationship. Our sages were right to choose this passage, the Shema, and its attendant subject of love, as a central feature of morning and evening prayer. By beginning and ending our day with words of love for God, we frame the day affirming an exalted relationship of both affection and loyalty. Shabbat Shalom.